has been carved into the stonework. This one here is the 5th London Bridge to stand over this site in over 2,000 years, okay, dating back to the Roman times of London. This one was actually opened in 1973. On clearing the bridge there, we look ahead of us and to the left. For the children, I know we've got quite a few kids on the boat today, look between the gap in the buildings. Sitting in the wet dock, we have a pirate ship on the banks of the Thames. Once this white boat was cleared out of the way, look to the left now, and we can see the back end of a pirate ship. And this pirate ship is a full working ship, okay, it's not a model. It's an exact working replica of Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind. The first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe, he used a pirate ship identical to that one. It took him just under 4 years. He had a crew of 80 cutthroat sailors. The pirate ship we see to the left, as I mentioned, it is a full working ship. It's actually done more sea miles than the original. It's been around the world twice already. It will go again. It just sits here awaiting funding, okay? So you can go on board the pirate ship. You can take the kids on board there today. They can dress up as pirates for the day. Looking ahead of us, we have the Cannon Street Railway Bridge. In fact, one for the adults then. Look here to the right, we have a glass box, and sometimes we see people walking around with not many clothes on inside here. As you can see, look, it's a very luxurious health and relaxation spa. Now, they placed it underneath the bridge thinking nobody would see in. Maybe they didn't take into account the boats like us. We pass every 5 minutes. Now, very cleverly, they put in one-way glass, but very stupidly they put it in the wrong way around. So we can see in and they can't see us. And some days are better than others, if you know what I mean. Some days you see some terrible sights in there, believe me. In fact, some days we turn the boat around and we go back around again, but we're clearing the bridge now, and we look to the left, just over there in the corner, we have a very old, very famous Riverside Tavern. A lovely old pub. It's the Anchor Tavern at Bankside. Parts of the pub date back to 1615. And it is said Shakespeare, he would have used the attics of that pub as a changing facility for his original Globe Theatre. Mentioned in the diaries of Dr. Johnson, Samuel Pepys, and it starred in a couple of films as well. Get Him to the Greek with Russell Brand and Mission Impossible, a scene set in the Beer Garden. This is the Southwark Road Bridge, this one. It was opened in 1921, placed here to relieve the traffic off of the old London Bridge many years ago now. On clearing this bridge, we look ahead of us and to the left, just over there behind the pier. In fact, this whole area here to the left, this is Bankside. Okay, in the Elizabethan era, this would have been the entertainment capital. It's all moved today, of course. It's moved to a place called Covent Garden, to Drury Lane. We're still standing here today, just behind the pier I mentioned. We have a white rounded building, has a thatched roof on top, and flies a white flag. This is an exact one-to-one replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre. This is the only building in London to be allowed a thatched roof since the Great Fire of London, 1666. I mentioned the white flag. It is flying today, and that indicates to us that you can now go inside the building and watch a play take place. All of these plays, they're acted out in a traditional manner. There's no sound or light amplification, there's no heating, there's no air conditioning, there's actually no top to that roof. The roof just goes around the outside. And they will continue to act through all weathers. If it starts to rain, they will continue to act. And you're not allowed umbrellas inside the building for obvious reasons. You block people's view. So you can't take umbrellas in there. and they will continue to act through the rain. You can actually see the name of the era as the tide is nice and low. Look, it says Bankside on the river wall. Stay to the left there, that tall chimney is the old Bankside power station. Not a power station today, hasn't been for many years. It's now the Tate Modern Art Gallery. It's home to the largest collection of modern art anywhere in the world. It is completely free to enter, so if anybody likes modern arts, definitely the place to go there. If you've ever seen modern art, you'll know why it's free to enter. It's not my cup of tea, if I'm honest. What they've got inside the building, they've got half a cow displayed in a box. They've got a room with a light bulb that turns on and off all day long. They've got a pile of bricks that's stacked up neatly to look like a pile of bricks. And the one that everybody queues up for, this is beyond me, there's a mirror on the wall. And when you look into the mirror, you can see your own reflection. And everybody queues up all day long to look in this mirror. This is modern art. Here to the right, folks, we're just passing a real piece of art. In fact, we have the dome and the golden cross of St. Paul's Cathedral. Considered to be the masterpiece of Sir Christopher Wren. Stands at 365 feet tall, and that's from the base